Yeah, make sure they're in. Done.
Celeste tells me that Akbar and Galila, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Fine. Do you want to ask people to turn their phones off or whatever?
Yes, I think so.
In a relaxed manner.
Yeah.
Shalom, Tova, Uvrecha, Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvrecha, Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvrecha, Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha, Tova Uvracha, Tova Uvracha.
I haven't a clue what has gone on this morning because I've been in the synagogue all morning. You may have got caught in rain and wind. You may have got caught in the storm of watching whatever was on the TV earlier this morning or listening to it. But now's the time for us to come together as one congregation, whatever our individual experiences, to all come together on this Shabbat morning to celebrate life, to commemorate life, and also to celebrate a young person coming of age this morning in our Jewish tradition. I hope that you will add your voices to this service in whatever way you can. If you're not Jewish or your Hebrew's a bit ropey, don't worry at all. Please make sure that you join in with all of the English which is here. If there's a tune that you find that you can just pick up, please hum along or just say whatever words come out of your mouth. That's absolutely fine. But be part of this service as we all join together. We begin this morning's service on page 117. Page 117, and please rise. Jews would say these words as they cross the threshold of the synagogue, literally walking into God's sanctuary. And you will see this is a bit of a cut and paste job of different biblical verses talking about being in God's house. The words are really quite simple, so please do try and sing with me. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. Through your great love, O God, I enter your house. With awe I worship in your sanctuary. Eternal God, I love the house where your glory dwells. Humbly I worship before my God and Maker. May my prayer be acceptable to you, eternal God. In your great kindness, answer me with your saving truth. Please be seated. And we continue together. We thank you, O God, for this new day, for morning sun and evening star, for flowering of tree and flowing of tide, for life-giving rains and cooling breezes, for the changing seasons, the cycle of growth and decay, of life and death. We awake and behold a new day. O God, renew us unto life. Teach us to recognize your presence in creation. Grateful for your gifts, may we dedicate all our powers to your service. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for eyes to see. Praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for clothes to wear. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the joy of freedom. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for providing for all our needs. Praise you. And together, we praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the blessing of sleep and the privilege of waking to a new day. These are morning blessings, a selection which from the traditional list of blessings. And we have one real blessing this morning to recite all together. It's a Shehechianu in a few moments for one of my future rabbis. So if you wouldn't mind rising, please. And Ezra, would you like to come up onto the podium? Let's come here so that actually people can see you. There we go. Ezra has come with his family into our community quite recently. Ezra has made a very big presence. We're always here, being wonderfully Jewish, even maybe sometimes when Mum and Dad didn't expect to be coming to shul. You say, are we going to shul? They bring you. I think in the future, maybe you might be a rabbi. Could be. And one day holding this role as well. But for now, I'm just very, very happy on the occasion of your birth. You just enjoy being here. You make us very, very happy and you're here. We're very, very grateful for the time to go around helping out my errands. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Mazel Tov. And we all say the Shehechianu together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'hikianu b'asman ha'aseh. Thank you, eternal God, for bringing us to this happy occasion. Ezra and Lee, do you want to come closer up for me? Please be seated. And we continue with blessings on page 119. At the top, we read together in Hebrew. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Baruch hu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Hamchulal b'fi'amo. Mushubach umfo'ah. Yeshon chasidav v'avadav. Bishvachot uvizmirot. V'gadel lecha v'namlichecha. Malkeinu yachid chei ha'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai. Melech Muchulal, Batish Bachot. With the coming of day and night, I will enter the covenant of God. But when evening and morning depart, I will recite God's decrees. God Most High, you are my righteousness. You teach me goodness. You are the fountain of knowledge, the dwelling place of holiness, and the summit of glory. Eternal might and majesty are yours. I will choose whatever you teach me, gladly accepting your judgments. As soon as I move my hands and feet, I will praise your name. When I go out and when I come in, when I lie down and when I rise up. When I rest on my bed, I will sing your praise. And in the company of my friends, I will praise you with the words of my mouth.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך הרענן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה מה יפרח, כארז בלבנון ישגה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ינובו בסלע, דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד, כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתה בו. Please rise. And together, Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu, Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh Bashamayim Uva'aretz. Ki lecha na'er Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu. Shir u'shvacha, Hallel v'zimra, Brachot v'hodaot me'ata ve'ad olam. Baruch Ata Adonai, Habocher b'shirei Zimra. We turn on to page 135, page 135. Baruchu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach, Le'olam Va'ed. Praise the one to whom our praise is due. We praise the Eternal One, to whom our praise is due forever. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, yotzer uvarech Hoshem, oseh shalom uvarech hakol. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, yotzer uvarech Hoshem, oseh shalom uvarech hakol.
We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, Maker of light and Creator of darkness, Author of peace and Creator of all things. In your mercy you give light to the earth and all who live on it, and in your goodness you renew creation continually, day by day. How manifold are your works, O God! With wisdom have you made them all. The world is full of your creations. Your handiwork proclaims your praise. The radiant stars bear witness to your glory.
Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'meorot. Together, great is your love for us, eternal God, and abundant your compassion. Our ancestors trusted in you, and you taught them the laws of life. So be gracious to us and teach us. Incline our hearts to hear your words, to know and understand, to learn and teach, and with love to uphold the truths of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching. Make us faithful to your commandments and wholehearted in the love and awe of your name. For in love you summon us to serve you and proclaim your unity. We praise you, O God. In love you have called your people Israel to serve you. Please rise. Shem kavod malchuto leolam, leolam, va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai, Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam,
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai, Echad.
Va'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol ma'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavacha hayom, al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'aderech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, ukshautam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'sharech. Please be seated. Leman tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kadoshim le'Elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We continue together in the middle of page 138. Good and beautiful and true, sound, established and enduring are these words, now and forever. True it is, Eternal One, that you are our sovereign God and Redeemer. As you were the God and Redeemer of our ancestors, you are our Maker, the rock of our salvation. We have known you always as our helper and our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. Then with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song. Mi chamocha balim Adonai, mi kamocha neda bakodesh, nora techilot osefele. A new song the redeemed sang to your name at the shore of the sea. With one accord they gave thanks and proclaimed your sovereignty. Adonai imloch leolam ba'ed. Israel, Ma Bezrat Israel, Go Aleinu Adonai, Tzvaot Shemo, Kadosh Israel, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael, Gal Yisrael. Please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia gita kilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia gita kilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth shall declare your praise. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth shall declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanura, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imachot, u'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'achava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Machayei Meitim Atah Rab L'Choshia, Mashiv Haruach Omorit HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh Umorit HaTal, Machalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Machayei Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim, Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gvurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umachayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah L'Chayot Meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Machayei HaMeitim, Nakadesh et Shimcha be'olam, B'Shem shemakdishim oto b'Shmei Maron, Ka'katuv al Yad Nevi'echa. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech al ha'aretz, Kvodo Malei Olam, Baruch Kavod Adonai, Mimkomacha Malkeinu Tofia, V'timloch Aleinu, Ki machakim anachnu lach, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Yitzion, Le'tovado, Alleluia. Le'tovado nagid godlecha. From generation to generation we will make known your greatness. To the end of time we will proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O our God, shall never depart from our lips. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. Please be seated. Yismachu b'malchutecha, Yismachu b'malchutecha, Shomerei Shabbat v'korei honeg. Am Kadshei Shavi'i, Am Kadshei Shavi'i, Kulam Yispahu, V'yitanagu mitzuvecha, V'hashivi'i ratzita bo, V'kidashto, V'hashivi'i ratzita bo, V'kidashto. Chemdat yamim oto karata zeche lema'aseh v'reishi. We continue together. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness. Gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. V'tzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amacha Yisrael, tfilatam b'havat kabel, t'hil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha, Baruch atah Adonai, She'otecha levadecha, b'yira na'avod. And together, modim anachnu lach, she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu, le'olam va'ed. Tzor chayenu magen yishenu, atahu ledor vador. Nodeh lecha u'nesaper tekilatecha, al chayenu hamosurim biyadecha, va'al nishmotenu habakorot lach, va'al nisecha shebachol yom imanu, Ba'al niflotecha v'tovotecha, שבכל עת, ערב ובוקר וצהריים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך, ולך נאה להודות. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. חיים בחסד, חיים בחסד ורחמים. חיים בחסד, חיים בחסד ורחמים. ורחמים. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עלינו ועל כל ישראל. אמן. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. טובה וברכה. We read together, grant peace, welfare and blessing, grace, love and mercy to us and to all Israel, your people. As a loving parent, bless us with the light of your presence. For by the light of your presence, eternal God, you have revealed to us the law of life, a love of kindness and righteousness, blessing and mercy, life and peace. For it is good in your sight that your people Israel and all peoples be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. We pause for our own prayers. Sonim Refi, Egion libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri v'gohali. May the words of our mouths, the meditations of our hearts, be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our redeemer. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל בני אדם, עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, Shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. May the Most High source of perfect peace grant peace to us, to all Israel, to all humanity. We now turn to page 481. Page 481 for our Torah service.
There is none like you, Eternal One, among the gods people worship, and there are no deeds like yours. Your sovereignty is everlasting. Your reign endures from age to age. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Gadlu Adonai Ti and Aromamo Shemo Yakdav. Let us magnify the Eternal One. Together, let us exalt God's name. All good? Adonai HaMamlecha. Please be seated. If you want to come and stand here, though. Okay, Celeste first.
In the presence of this congregation, which represents the Jewish people all over the world, I give thanks for what I have learnt of my Jewish heritage and promise to go on studying it in the years ahead. So may I come to understand ever more deeply and carry out more fully the duties that flow from it. I think of all those who, in past ages, have preserved the Jewish faith and declared their loyalty to it as I do today. I thank my parents and my family, my teachers and my friends, and all who have helped me to reach this day. And I pray to God, guide me and keep me strong, so that I may fulfill the high hopes that rest on me.
Amen.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, that you have kept us alive, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this season.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehehiyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Amen. You may not be able to sit down, but it doesn't matter. Do you want to just stand there for a moment?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I would like to start by wishing Frank a very happy birthday. I would like to thank Eli and Judy for all their help and Steve for his help with my blessings, and thanks to Rabbi Aaron too, especially his help with the pauses. I chose to read from the scroll from Kolin in former Czechoslovakia. I was inspired by its heritage and how it survives today, yet the people of Kolin did not. They knew that the scrolls would not survive, so they ensured the safety of them, protecting them with their own clothes to ensure their eternal sanctity. My portion is Noah 6:9. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMavorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
This is Noah's chronicle. Noah was a righteous man in his generation. He was above reproach. Noah walked with God. Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth became corrupt before God. The earth was filled with violence. And when God saw how corrupted the earth was, how all flesh was acting in a corrupt way upon the earth, God said to Noah, "The end of all flesh has come to mind before me. Because the earth is full of violence on their account, look, now I am going to wipe them off the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make the ark with rooms and cover it with tar inside and out. This is how to make it: 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for the ark, making it overhang from above by a cubit. Put the ark's door in its side and make a bottom, a second, and a third deck. As for me, I am going to bring the flood waters upon the earth to destroy all that lives under the heavens. All that has the breath of life in it. Everything on earth shall expire. With you, though, I will establish my covenant. Go then into the ark, you, your wife, your sons, and their wives with you. And take 2 of each of every living creature of all flesh into the ark, male and female, to keep them alive along with you. Every type of bird, every type of beast, every type of creeping thing. Let 2 of each come to you and keep them alive. And take along edible foodstuffs of every kind. Gather them up so that there is food for yourself and for them." And Noah did just as God had commanded him. That is what he did. אלה תולדות נוח. נוח איש צדיק תמים היה בדורותיו. את האלוהים התהלך נוח. ויולד נוח 3 בנים, את שם, את חם ואת יפת. ותשחט הארץ לפני האלוהים, ותמלא הארץ חמס. וירא אלוהים את הארץ, והנה נשחטה, כי השחית כל בשר את דרכו על הארץ. ויאמר אלוהים לנוח, קץ כל בשר בא לפני, כי מלא הארץ חמס מפניהם. והנני משחיתם את הארץ, עשה לך תיבת עצי גופר, הנים תעשה את התיבה. וחפרת אותה מבית ומחוץ בכופר. וזה אשר תעשה אותה 300 אמה אורך התיבה, 50 אמה רחבה ו30 אמה קומתה. סוהר תעשה לתיבה, ואל אמה תכלנה מלמעלה, ופתח התיבה בצידה תשים, תחתים 32 תעשיה. ואני, הנני, מביא את המבול מים על הארץ, לשחט כל בשר אשר בו רוח חיים מתחת השמיים, כל אשר בארץ יגבה. והקימותי את בריתי איתך, ובאת אל התיבה, אתה ובניך ואשתך ונשי בניך איתך. ומכל החי מכל בשר 2, מכל תביא על התיבה, לך חיות איתך, זכר ונקבה, יחיו מהעוף למיניהו, ומן הבהמה למינה, מכל רמס האדמה למיניהו. 2, מכל יבואו אליך לך חיות. ואתה, קח לך מכל מאכל אשר יאכול ואספת אליך, והיה לך ולכם לאכלה, ויועש נוח, ככל אשר ציווה אותו אלוהים, כן עשה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, חיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Amen.
Celeste has just witnessed one of the secrets of Rabbi Aaron's Siddur. In the office, they try to give me a new one, but I refuse. I stick to the one that I first got. It does mean that some words are missing from it. So Celeste's wondering what the next words or letters were because of me. Nothing to do with her. Would you please rise? Mark, you've got a couple of letters gone. Well done. Okay. Please be seated.
I have chosen this Haftarah because it spoke to me. This Haftarah mentions Noah when Isaiah is giving an uplifting speech to the Jewish people as they were being persecuted and put into slavery. Isaiah is telling the Jewish people how there is hope for them and how they still have their faith to rely on and to comfort them. I am reading from Isaiah 54:1. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bacha b'nviim tovim, v'ratza v'divreihem ha'ne'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher b'torah uv'moshe avdo, uv'Yisrael amo, uv'inveyei ha'am emet v'tzedek. This is like the days of Noah to me. I promise never again to cover the earth with the waters of Noah's days. So now I promise never again to be angry with you or rebuke you. Though the mountains may depart and the hills be removed, my love shall never depart from you. And my covenant of peace shall not be removed, says the one who loves you, the Eternal. Ah, unhappy storm-tossed soul with none to comfort you. I will make garnets your building stones and sapphires your foundations. I will build your towers with rubies, your gates with precious stones, your borders with gems. All your children shall be taught by the Eternal, and great shall be the happiness of your children. You shall be established in righteousness, safe from oppression and unafraid. Safe from terror, it shall not come near you. Should any attack you, it will not be my doing. Whoever attacks you will fall on your account. It is I who created the smith who fans the coal in the fire and forges weapons by his work. I also create the destroyer to wreak havoc. No weapon fashioned against you can succeed. You shall defeat all who rise to accuse you. That is the heritage of the Eternal servants, and I am the source of their vindication, says the Eternal. Come, all who are thirsty, come for water. Even if you have no money, come buy food and eat. Come buy food without money, wine and milk without cost. Why spend money for what is not bread? Why spend your wages for what does not satisfy? Listen well to me, and you shall eat what is good, and your souls shall delight in abundance. Open your ears and come to me. Hearken, and you shall live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, like the true love I extended to David. As once I made him a witness to the world, a prince and commander of nations, so now you shall summon people you do not know, and people that do not know you shall come running to you, because of the eternal your God, the Holy One of Israel, who has given your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zur kol haolamim, sadiq bakol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'oseh, hamdaber umkayem shakol devarav emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Imagine the year is 2040. The whole world has become evil. Some say money has corrupted people, yet money isn't the problem. The strong kill off the weak. Nobody can display any weakness, otherwise they will become the prey of scavengers. People are living and behaving like animals. They have regressed to their primal instincts. Nobody knows there is a problem, as this is reality. There is no goodness to show the difference, except for one person, one shining of light that barely leads people from the blinding of the dark. Nobody listens, nobody cares, nobody needs to care. A powerful being will send waters to drown the dead weight of the world. One light has been called upon by a mightier power to save himself from the damnation of the world, the apocalypse. His name is Noah. He has been told to build an ark of gopher wood to save himself from being drowned. Not just him, but his family and 2 of every species of animal. When Noah was making this ark, passerby asked him why, and when he explained to them what was to come and hoped they might save themselves, they laughed. Could this be our future? Noah's world was full of jealousy, greed, theft, violence, deception, intolerance, fraud, and sexual exploitation. The world today is full of these very same things. Yet there is still hope. There is still an olive branch. There is still a dove with an olive branch in sight, in front of us, flying to us. Because there are people who abuse and hurt, there are other people who can rise above their hatred and say, I will not follow you or let you hurt me. I am my own person and will be my own person until I die. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. You cannot corrupt me by hurting me or beating me down. As long as we have freedom of thought and will of our own to go our own path and not follow blindly, we have hope. As long as there is one person who can see the right way, humankind is not at damnation. As with one person comes one more, then 2, then 3, being influenced in the right way. Because it is not what you have done, but what you can do to make it better. There is only one difference between us and the people in Noah's world: morality. If you lived in a world where theft, murder, jealousy, and intolerance was normal behavior, you would have no morals, no ability to understand right from wrong. If someone dies, we don't take advantage of them and take their possessions. Instead, we have a funeral, we mourn, we cry. That is the moral thing to do. We all have a Noah within ourselves. It is sometimes not obvious to see it in some people, but that doesn't mean it's not there. We can only help each other and the world around us if we help ourselves first. Try and be a better person and improve yourself, and you will not be miserable. You'll be happy, and we could all save our world from being destroyed once again, as we should learn from our mistakes and try to be better. If you follow your Noah, you will find yourself along the way. If we all make a little change to be good, the world will slowly become better. It will never be perfect, but it's a start.
Shikoyach. You can see why I invited another rabbi to give the sermon today. Follow that, Danny. Would you please rise? We continue on page 484, page 484. And please do join with me as we read the blessing for the royal family. Eternal God, whose dominion embraces the universe, we ask your blessing for our Sovereign Lady, Queen Elizabeth, and all the royal family, for those who govern our country, and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity. Eternal God, as you blessed our ancestors in generations past, bless now this congregation, its leaders and its members, and all who enter this synagogue to meet, to study, and to pray. Comfort the sorrowing hearts among us, and heal those in anxiety or pain. May we all find here community and friendship, renewal of purpose and hope, a deeper understanding of our heritage, and a sense of your abiding presence. Bless all congregations of the House of Israel throughout the world. Let those who live under oppressive rule soon be freed, and may we all unite to witness to your truth and do your will. And together, eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fulfill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement the prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbours, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision that out of Zion shall go forth Torah and the word of God from Jerusalem. And over the page, Yehalalu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado. Come and follow me. Misha Barach Avoteinu V'Imotenu. May the one who blessed our ancestors, blessed Celeste now, having reached that mitzvah, having come to the Torah, having argued with God, argued with me, argued with everybody around. But wow, I hope that you've really enjoyed this experience. It has been a difficult one, and it has involved also the death of one of your close friends and teachers through this process. I hope that you feel that you have done Yochi proud, that you have done yourself proud today. I can honestly say I haven't a clue what you're going to do in the future, but I know that you, whenever you approach it, you will throw your all into it. And just as you heard from this amazing piece of creative writing, throw your heart and creativity, all the skills that you have, into your work. In the future, may you also come to cherish moments such as this, where you celebrate your heritage, you celebrate who you are. We are Yisrael. The word means not the ones who believe blindly in God, but the ones that struggle with God. Celeste, you struggle with God. But I hope that within this sanctuary and within this community, you find a place where you know that you are accepted, that you are included, that we are eager to hear your points of view, no matter how difficult they are for your teachers. And so I do ask God to bless you and take it however you understand that word to mean. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha, yasem lecha shalom. And may God reach out to you in tenderness. Well, he's going to have to stand on something, I think. But throughout your life, bring you peace. And let us say, Amen. Back on page 489. Celeste, behold, good doctrine has been given you. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Please be seated. Well done. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. As I mentioned, we've invited today, not me, another rabbi to come and deliver the sermon. A rabbi who is connected with the family, a rabbi who is very known and welcome in our synagogue always. Rabbi Danny Rich, the chief executive and senior rabbi of Liberal Judaism, colleague and friend. Danny, please.
Well, Aaron, I'm glad you invited me to give the sermon, but not for reasons that you may think. But first of all, because it's always great to be back at Northwood, the second largest of the constituents of Liberal Judaism, and a stalwart part of everything that our national movement achieves. My second reason, however, is slightly more personal, because as one reaches the twilight of one's rabbinic career, as one realizes one's been at it for more than 30 years, one realizes that one's been with families for longer than one thought. As I look at this wonderful family and think back to the things that we've done together, from good times and bad, tough times and easy, joys and celebrations, and occasionally the opposite. And of course it was, I guess, probably just under 13 years ago that I think it was in your home that we welcomed Celeste into the family and into the Jewish community. And who could possibly have known? Who could have known that this bundle of energy, as it was, would become a young woman who and I don't say this to every bar mitzvah, but just don't tell them, but I don't say it to everyone, who, with such aplomb, there's no other word for it, there was no, we can't quite hear you, please shout at me, type of thing that I have with lots of students, and I'm sure Erin has in the past. This was a young woman who clearly knows who she is, and knows what she wants to say, and knows how to say it with the right intonation, and the right pauses, and the raising of the voice at one time, and the quieting at another. And you won't find many people who read that wonderful piece of Isaiah with such feeling. And whether she meant it or not is not relevant for this moment, but it demonstrates that here's somebody who comes to us with something to say. Now, Celeste, of course, you also gave us your own Devar Torah. And that's really why Aaron doesn't want to preach this morning, because you take most of the rabbi's best lines. And the most amazing thing is you didn't start with the most obvious. And what would the most obvious, Celeste, be if we were thinking about Noah and animals and floods? What would it be, do you think? What would the most obvious sermon be about? Don't ask her, I'm asking you. You're the adult now. Well, just think about the world. Well, if you were going to preach on Noah, what would be the most obvious thing you might preach on?
I am preaching on Noah.
Yes, but you'd preach, well, you'd preach probably, wouldn't you, about the natural world, okay? You'd be thinking about animals, you know, cuddly ones and not so cuddly ones. You'd be thinking about flooding. You'd be thinking about the rise of the water level and the ice. And you would have a sermon on climate change. And if you were of your generation, you might have a sermon on why it is that you disrupt commuters and glue yourself to railway carriages and all the other things. In other words, that would have been the obvious sermon. And I'm really pleased that you didn't use it. Because the important thing about the Noah story is, it isn't human beings who destroy the world on that occasion. It's God who destroys the world. And so my task this morning is to try and tease something out about why it is, or what you can learn, or rather what I might teach you, from why God would choose to destroy the world. We know about why human beings choose to destroy the world, because we're selfish, and we want everything, and we like convenient things in plastic bottles and plastic bags and all of the other things. But why might God seek to destroy the world, do you think? You don't have to give me an answer, because I'm going to answer it for you. I understand that in addition to the fact that you do very well in your main subjects, you also play the piano, you sing, you dance. Do you do any art? Great. So you do some art then. And you're obviously quite good at it. And have you ever created something, like a piece or something? No, a physical piece of art. Give me an example. Right. Right. And how many times did you actually create that before you got it right? Okay. So one of the things about artists is, and about creators is, the best of them, this is what I'm told, is they don't do something once. Unlike me, who's a bit lazy, does something once, says that Diana that will do. The best of artists create things, and they destroy them and recreate them. So when you go into an exhibition and you see a Damien Hirst shark through the painting or whatever it was, that's number 12. It isn't number 1, or even number 2, or even number 3, or number 4. So one of the theories about the creation story and about the Noah story is that actually God was trying to create a perfect world, or an excellent world, in the same way that an artist tries to create an excellent picture. And so there is this idea that, in fact, we are not Noah's generation and the generation that came after, and even others, was in fact just yet one more opportunity for God to try and get this right. But at a given point, Noah's generation wasn't the right time, because as you told us, the world was destroyed because it wasn't right. But at a given time, God says to Noah, actually, this is the best I can do. It isn't perfect. How do we know that the Noahs were? How do we know that the society that came after Noah wasn't perfect? Great, because there's still crimes today, and because if you were to read the rest of the story of Noah, which you may not have done in your studies, he gets himself into some pickles and some trouble. What happens? This is called an interactive sermon, by the way. Just in case. I mean, I can't do guitars and touchy-feely type of things, but interactive sermons I can do. Right, go on. Right, okay. So he isn't. So despite the fact that you told us at the very beginning that that Noah was this one great person who was going to change the world, even Noah blows it a little later on. And the first point that I want to teach, that I want you to think about Noah, is this. Of course, we aspire for perfection. Of course, when you come to do GCSEs, we're told now we have to get, well, it used to be 9 A stars, but now I think it's 9 number 1s or 9 number 9s or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter. The point is, your teachers will say, we want you to get the top grades in everything. Yeah, that's what teachers say, and worse is what parents say, and I've committed the same offence, so as a parent, and as a grandparent, no doubt will do the same. But, and this is, I think, I want you to take away with you. If you don't make the 9 grades, or whatever level you required, it is not the end of the world. All right? Because that is exactly what God discovered when God finally sent that rainbow and said, Dayenu, I am not going to destroy the world again. It still isn't good enough. It still has the crimes that you're talking about. It still has Noah getting drunk. But one of the things that you and your generation, dare I say it rather patronizingly, need to learn is you do not have to be perfect to succeed. And not everybody, and maybe not anybody, will get everything right. But that does not make them a failure. It makes them a success, but with not everything right. And so that's the first thing that I want you to take away from today. Not because you won't do well in your exams, I'm sure you will. And not because you won't get to grade 8 in your piano, but you might drop a note as you do on the way. But whatever you do, you will be successful. But you are not required to be perfect. And I meet lots of young people today of your age who feel disappointed because they're not perfect. And the truth of the matter is, look at me. I ain't perfect either. And so the first thing I want you to take away from your portion today is that you are not required to be perfect. You are required to be the best that you can, but you're not required to be perfect. And there's a second lesson, which you hinted at when you spoke. You talked about Noah as being this righteous man and so on, and a light. But you also reminded us that he was the only one there. And the rabbis asked the same question, well, what does this say about Noah? If everybody around you is a crook, you don't have to do very much to be the best, is one argument. The counter-argument is, if everybody else around you is a crook, you have to be exceptional not to follow them. And so even Noah, according to our tradition, there's this debate, well, how good is he? Is he only you know, in some objective standard, is he only okay because he did a little better than everybody else? Or is he really, really cool because, in fact, in a time when everybody else was terrible, he managed to rise above it? That brings me to my second lesson for you. However well you do, you'll always have your critics. It's an important lesson. That however hard we try to get it right, however hard we try to please those we need to please, somebody will want you to do that bit more. Somebody will want you to do something different. Somebody will wish you'd done it a different way. And you, like all of us, have to learn to live with criticism, even unfair criticism, and take that in your stride, as I'm sure you will. And the third lesson, thinking again about what you said about Noah, is this. If you think about those two interpretations of Noah, one is about being an individual and the other is following society. Right? If you take the idea that Noah was not really great because everybody else was terrible, that means he was following the rest of society. Okay, do you understand that? Whereas if you take the other view, that when everybody else is corrupt, to do anything really, really requires an individual effort, then you can see that what the rabbis are getting at when they're critiquing Noah is there's a difficult balance to be struck between following the crowd, being part of society, being molded by that society, being a part of it on the one hand, but on the other hand, knowing when to stand above it, to stand outside of it, to challenge all that everybody else is telling you. Maybe you're already good at that, I don't know, but anyway, it's important. It's an important aspect of the balance. And so, Celeste, I'm thrilled to be here today, and I'm so proud of what you've achieved today, and seeing your family sitting with you, Trevor and your other grandparents and your parents, and you with me? Great. And your brother. And I'm thrilled to be here. And I hope that you'll take this lesson, these 3 lessons, with you into your life in the future. And number 1, you don't have to be perfect all of the time, but you still succeed even if you're not perfect. Number 2, I'm getting old, so I have to think about it for a minute. Number 2, what was number 2? I remember number 2. Do I remember number 2? Number 2, good. Sometimes criticism will be unfair, and sometimes, even if you do it all right, somebody will still say you didn't. Take that on board, listen to it, absorb it, and move through it. Number 3, remember, you need to be part of society, be sharing its destiny. But when it's on the wrong path, you have the character, the support of your family, your teachers and your communities, and the teachings of your Jewish tradition to do something different. And if, dare I say it, you remember those 3 lessons, and you may not, but if you do, I trust they will hold you well in your wonderful future that you will share with Morgan, your brother, your parents, your grandparents, and members of your family and this community. Can you hear that song? May that be God's will. And let us say, Amen.
Thank you, Danny. We turn to page 520 for our concluding prayers. And please rise. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתקנו לעליות זה בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגהור עלינו להמליך מלכותו,
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שכונותי שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו הינון, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין דוד. And it has been said, the eternal God shall rule over all the earth. On that day the eternal God shall be one and known to be one. A few moments on page 524. It is hard to feel serene when our world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone. Yet in the emptiness their passing leaves behind, we are not alone. We have the companionship of the living, and even our loved ones who have died live on in our hearts. What they were is part of what we have become. On this Shabbat, we recall the Yartzites remembered in our community. Betty Herman, the mother of Steve and grandmother of Ed and Jess. Of Gillian Leaf, the wife of Tony and mother of Alison and Caroline. Of Harry Neil Ellis, the brother of Hilton. Of Rachel Shellin, the mother of Joy Jacob. And of Yochi, the teacher and friend of Celeste and her family. We're also saddened to announce the deaths this week of Audrey Brechner, the mother of Philip, Joe and Jane. Sue Bidgham, the wife of George, mother of Russell and Mark and sister of John. And of Suzanne Hafner, wife of Michael, mother of Alex and Adam, friend of so many of us who were used to her presence almost on a daily basis in our synagogue, volunteering on so many different levels for decades and decades. We honour all those we think of best when we live, as they would wish, responsibly and happily even in the shadow of our loss, and so draw closer to the source of life in whom every life finds meaning, purpose, and hope. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Hei shemei Rabbah mavarach le'olam u'lalmei amaya. Yitbarach v'ishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'tada v'talei v'talal shemei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Hei shlama Rabbah ben Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol b'nei Adam, v'imru. Amen. Please be seated. And as I invite our President, Spencer Cowan, to come up to make a presentation to Celeste, and Celeste, if you want to come up as well. Just to remind congregants that tomorrow, at 9:45 a.m. is Suzanne's funeral at Hoop Lane Crematorium. And there will be Shiva prayers the same evening back here
at 5:30 p.m. In between that, also at 1:45 at Edgwarebury, is a stone setting for Neville Cooper. There's no segue I can do from that. Many of us are remembering this morning, but also celebrating. And one thing I'd love you to be able to do after this service is to join us next door for Kiddush and to celebrate and to enjoy the wonderful exhibition, new art exhibition that we have next door in the Eitz Chaim Gallery. And we're really delighted that Karen, the artist, is here. How many times do you make a piece of work before you get it right? Well, you just keep going and keep going. It couldn't have been more perfect, Danny, in terms of that interpretation, to have Karen here as well. Please do come and enjoy the artwork, but also enjoy the artist as well. And please come up and welcome Karen, but also talk with her about the art. It's all the art, not arc. It's already been very popular. The gallery volunteers have already purchased a few pieces. If you're interested, please let Carol and Jackie know. A number of other things within the community to announce. The first is that we begin a new adult learning program around what does Judaism say about, and Rabbi Leah and I are starting off this Tuesday evening focusing on reproductive rights and IVF. Thoughts about women's rights and different things like that, not only in your honour, Celeste. You did, that's great. Well, you'll have to give it to me and see if I can learn from it as well and teach it on. We're trying something different. Sometimes our numbers have been a little bit down on some of our learning in synagogue. So we're actually going to do this, you can join us via Zoom, which is in front of your own computers, at 8:30 p.m. So if you're interested, please let us know so that we can send you the invitation and you can join us on Zoom, online from your own home. If you're not too sure about how that might work, then please do speak to me afterwards. But when Rabbi Leah has tried this, we've had a good number of people join us. Right, I'm going to be quiet. Hand over to Spencer. I'm going to go this way. Thanks.
And the fourth lesson is, as you know, Noah got drunk. He woke up in the morning with a terrible hangover, and he said, "Oi, Gewalt, I'm going to learn from my mistakes." So the fourth lesson is learn from your mistakes. Celeste, your name comes from the French and from the Italian celeste, or the French celeste, and means heavenly, as you no doubt know. You today you gave a heavenly performance. As Rabbi Rich has said, your enunciation was perfect. Your ivrit was absolutely perfect. I want to mention also that you read from the Collins scroll. We also have a scroll from a place called Spiska Nova Ves, which is a small town in Slovakia. It's northeast of Slovakia, and one of our scrolls is from there. And on Monday, we had a small gathering to welcome the arrival of His Excellency Lubomir Rihak, I had to read it because I couldn't say it, Slovak ambassador, and Mr. Milan Matlovic, press attaché. They had come here to look at our archive, our Slovak archive, of which we have a considerable one, there's a little booklet which I was going to get one for you, but I couldn't find one. A booklet about our Czech scroll. You may have seen it already, have you? No, you haven't. Well, there's one somewhere around and I think it's well worth looking at. Also, there's something on the MPLS website about the Czech scrolls. As I say, we have 4 or 5 of them, 4.5 all, and they're part of our heritage. You read from one of the Czech scrolls, and that's the link with our Czech heritage. I'm very happy to present to you this goodie bag. It has a bat mitzvah card. It has a voucher for a trip to Israel, and it has a machzor for, well, you know what a machzor's for use at High Holy Days. There we are, and Mazel Tov. And Shkollach.
And I was last weekend with our Kabbalat Torah class in Colin, leading the service with student Rabbi David Maxa, who in June will be ordained as one of the first Czech-born rabbis of a new generation. It was the first time that he had been to Colin, first opportunity he had to see the synagogue, beautiful synagogue, undestroyed in the Shoah, and renewed by the local town. Now used as a cultural centre, but we used it as a proper synagogue and brought it back to life at least for 1 or 2 weekends and Shabbats of the year. Just as hopefully now we'll bring life into this community and this sanctuary as we conclude with Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Hashem Alam, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nifra, V'Ignasa, V'Chefzo Kol, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra, Yacharei, Kichlot HaKol, Levado, Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yiyeh, V'tifara. Adon Olam, Hashem Alach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nifrat, Le'et Natsav, V'Chefzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, V'Acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Choveh, V'hu Yiyeh, V'tifara. Adon Olam, Hashem Alach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nifrat, Le'et Natsav, V'Chefzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, V'Acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Choveh, V'tifara. V'hu Haya, V'hu Choveh, V'tifara. V'hu Haya, V'hu Choveh, V'tifara. Please rise. We once had a rabbi in our synagogue called Hillel. His namesake said, Al tifrosh min hatzibur, do not separate yourself from the community. He also said, Vimkom shein anashim, hishtadel lihiyot ish. When none behave like human beings, behave like a human being. May we have the strength, may we have the will, may we have the peace in our lives to do just as Rabbi Hillel and Rabbi Rich and our Torah portion today suggested. Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov, and please do join us next door for Kiddush.